Welcome back to Stuttering Sports. Today is July 23rd, 2021, and the topic for today is the Indianapolis Colts and why their philosophy is one of the best in the NFL right now, and why I believe they will be great for years. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Colts had an offseason where a lot of people criticized them for not using their cap space. And with all the wide receiver weapons that were available in the free agency market and also the trade market, a lot of fans were like, hey, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we not getting one of these great talented receivers to help out Carson Wentz? And a lot of people viewed it as a pretty uneventful offseason, but I do disagree because you got a new quarterback. Say what you want about the trade. This video is not about Carson Wentz. That will be for a later date. But, well, they got a new quarterback in one of the most questionable trades that can either be a major win for the Colts or just such a bad deal. It could go one or two ways, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. But this video is not about Carson Wentz. It's about their overall philosophy of just because we have cap space doesn't mean we have to go out and spend it. There's a quote from Chris Ballard that I'm going to put up on the screen right now saying, we don't have to pay B players A+ money. And you don't. That is very true. You don't have to say, all right, here you are. We need to give you big money so we can get better now. No. The Colts need their cap space because they have a lot of very valuable players right now on rookie deals that they're gonna have to pay. When you look at the 2018 draft class, which is one of the best from recent years, you have Quinn Nelson, who came in as one of the best guards in the league immediately, and then you have Darius Leonard, who's one of the best linebackers in the league. You have to pay both of those guys, and then guess what? The mainstay for your offense, no matter how Carson Wentz plays, you also have to pay Jonathan Taylor. So I personally love the decision that Chris Ballard made to say, hey, we don't have to pay these free agents because we have these guys coming up who are gonna want big money. You have Darius Leonard, who is rumored to have $19 million per year for a contract extension. I don't know if that's the biggest in the league. I know that Fred Warner just got his big contract. I know TJ Watt's gonna get one probably this or next offseason, but that is massive money, and Quentin Nelson, without a doubt, is going to get the highest guard money in the NFL. You have to keep your building blocks instead of going out and just shelling out money to a bunch of players like teams like the Patriots did, which I'm not criticizing them for it because it's two different teams and two different mindsets. But, well, the Colts way of doing it, I personally like a lot more. So looking at the Colts roster, they are riddled with young talent. During the draft, DN Kwity Paye just fell to them. He literally fell in their laps, and now you have Kwity Paye with DeForest Buckner. Then you also drafted another DN during the second round. They want this D-line to be great, and well, using your first two picks on it and getting DeForest Buckner during last year's draft trade is a great way of doing it. I do personally love when teams build in the trenches. The Colts, they already have one of the best lines in the league, and now, well, they're building up the defensive line in the best way they possibly can. Looking at the rest of the defense, they obviously have Darius Leonard. The rest of the linebacking core is okay. Looking at the secondary, though, Xavier Rhodes was trash back in 2019. He came over to the Colts. Dude was a stud. They have Rock Ya-Sin, who is still young, who is still developing. That's a really good cornerback duo if Rock Ya-Sin can develop into the player that he can be. So their secondary is good. They obviously have Darius Leonard as the mainstay for their linebacking core. And then the defensive line, which they're trying to build up, I personally fucking love. DeForest Buckner, Kwity Paye, and Dayo Adeyingbo. Probably butchered it, but that is what that is. Moving on to the offense. The main thing for their offense is, without a doubt, their offensive line and their rushing game. When you have a running back group with Jonathan Taylor, who was a stud, Nyheim Hines, who's a really good pass-catching back, and Marlon Mack, who will always be reliable, that is one of the best running back groups in the NFL right now. Those are three talented backs behind a fantastic offensive line. So even if Carson Wentz turns out to be a bum with the Colts, you still have the running back core to rely on in situations where Wentz may not play too well. Looking at the passing game, especially the wide receiver core, a lot of people were criticizing the Colts with such a talented wide receiver class during free agency for not paying him. Then when you look at Julio Jones, who was on the trade block, well, they did not go out and get him, which a lot of people did criticize, and I think there's pretty valid critiques of Chris Ballard for not going out and getting one of those guys for at least just a one-year deal to see how it works out. But then hearing Chris Ballard talk about his wide receiver core saying, well, T.Y. Hilton is still T.Y. Hilton. He's not putting up big numbers. Granted, he is not putting up big numbers, but defenses across the league know that you cannot just ignore him. Then when you look at Michael Pittman, who was hurt for most of last season, he's a big dude. He's a big receiver that had the big playoff game, and I think he has great potential. That's the same thing with Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell's not a big dude, but he does have really good potential with Michael Pittman. And then Zach Pascal is a great number 4. I mean, shit, if he's your number 4 receiver, that's a pretty good receiving group. It is not one of the best in the league, especially with how many great receivers there are right now in the NFL. But I like him trusting his gut, trusting his draft picks to continue to move forward. And the reason why the thumbnail of this video says great 4 years is because no matter who's been at quarterback the last 3 years, they have still been a good team. When you look at when Andrew Luck retired, literally, 2 weeks before the season when Jacoby Brissett came in, yeah, no, they were a below average team. But when you look at the team last year and now with a constant quarterback carousel, which hopefully Carson Wentz can stop, now they have a great defense with a fantastic rushing game, and, well, they have a Quentin Nelson. So the reason why I think they will be great for years, kind of regardless of how the whole Carson Wentz situation plays out, is because, one, they are fantastic at drafting, because they have a great offensive line with a great running back group, and, well, their defense right now, it is looking scary. Kwity Paye just fell to these guys, and now we have Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, and I forgot the second round pick's name. But that is a young defensive line that you do not mess around with. Darius Leonard is not one to mess around with. Then that cornerback group, if they can get one more stud for that secondary, oh my goodness, like the defense was already really good. It can be a top tier defense with another stud with the secondary. Then with the offense, I already mentioned it, the rushing game will be great. If the wide receiver core can develop the way it can, I think even if Carson Wentz is average with Frank Reich, I think they will be a fantastic team and be in contention every year because they're great at drafting. I love Chris Ballard's philosophy. Do not pay B players A+ money, and just because you have money does not mean you have to spend it. Because, well, you have guys that need to be paid here very soon, and you're going to have to shell out a lot of money for them. So, yeah, thanks for watching if you made it to the end. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. That's fucking awesome. That's so sick. And, yeah, hit the like button if you liked it. Leave a comment if you wanna, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.